Hello guys, today in this tutorial I will be showing you the JavaScript modules, what are JavaScript modules and how we can use the import and export statement to basically include different variables and methods. If you declare inside one file, you can export that variable and use it inside another file inside JavaScript. So now to get started here, we will be first of all import and export statement. What are those inside JavaScript? Why do we need to use them in the first place? So we have included this. This is the very first thing, guys. Whenever you include the script tag, you provide a location here, script.js, and now the second attribute that we need to give this is the type parameter. So type parameter simply tells whether it's a common JS or it's a ES6 module. So here we need to explicitly tell the HTML that we are including this ES6 modules. So for this we need to just include this module, type is equal to module. So basically if you don't write this, your ES6 code, which includes the import and export statement, will not get executed in the browser. So we need to explicitly tell the browser that it's a ES6 module file, and here we are including this using this type parameter attribute. So after you do this, we inside our script.js, basically we will now create a code here. So inside script.js, so we can declare any sort of variables here. This is very normal JavaScript here. We declare some variables. A is equal to 5, B is equal to 10, and basically we can try accessing those. We can simply console log A and B, and the output will be pretty simple. If you know basic JavaScript, we have declared variables and it will console log them 5, 10. So it's very normal. In the same way, we can call a function as well. So we call a function hello. So we can simply call this function alert. So basically it will show alert hi message inside the alert statement. You can see that. So this is very simple, and sorry, we need to call this function, not alert statement. You can see it is printing out the hi and the alert statement. So this is very normal stuff, guys. We declare the variables in the same file. So now once the application grows, guys, you need to write code in separate files. You need to just separate your application, just cut your application into different kinds of modules. So let's suppose you are building a really big social media website inside JavaScript. How you will able to write your code in a long single file? So this is not maintainable and the code will look messier. So we need to divide our code into multiple files. So that's why the famous frameworks such as React.js, Angular all talks about modules. So this ES6 modules are all about dividing your code into separate files so that we can let me show you a very basic example how I meant by this. Let me create a separate file for file1.js. So basically this file, guys, we will create some variables here. Let me declare some variables. A is equal to 5, B is equal to 10, and now we can, if you want to export these variables, we have declared these two variables here. If you want to use it inside your script.js here, if you want to use here, what we need to do is that we need to declare a statement here, guys, which is called as the export statement. And then you need to write also the default keyword. This is very much necessary. And then you need to provide the set of curly brackets. So right here, we are just telling the browser that we need to export these two variables so that other files can use them. So we can simply write like this: a comma a, b colon b. This is a very old syntax, but in new JavaScript syntax you can just simply write a comma b like this if the value of the variables are the same. So you can export like this, a comma b. And now in order to include these two variables, guys, in the main file script.js, what we can do is that we can use the import statement, and we can import the data coming from this file, which is /. This is a file1. You will see that file1.js, and basically you can console log your data. So whichever data which is coming here, basically this will be an object. You will see this is, we are passing exporting an object which contains these two properties a comma b. These are two variables. And now if I try to execute my application in the browser side, what you will see is that basically this will console log a object which will contain these two properties a and b. So these are two different variables out there, guys, which have got 5 and 10 values associated with this. So we are successfully exported these two variables, guys, inside our main file. And let's suppose you want to access a particular value of a, so data a, and dots in syntax you can use data dot b. So now you will be able to index just access the individual values of the variables 5 and 10. So this is very much useful, guys, if you want to export different sections of your code to different files, because in a practical example, in a long application, you need to divide your application into multiple chunks so that your application looks really effective whenever you are working in a team. So you can even export methods also, guys, same as the case. So if you want to export a add method, add number, so let's suppose someone has written this method and we need to allow some other users to use this method. What we will do, we will use this logic a plus b, and we will expect this method a comma b. So simply it's add two numbers, guys. It takes two arguments a comma b. It returns the sum of these two numbers. So in the similar manner, we will put a comma and we will simply write add number. So no need to put parentheses here. We are simply adding a property inside the object, but this time this property is a method, not a variable. So you can mix and match. You can provide variables and methods also inside the single object. And now what we'll say, guys, basically we can have access to this method. We will have console log data dot add number. You can see that this is now a property of this object and this is a method, and it expects two variables to be passed here. I will pass here 5 comma 5. So basically this will return here 5 plus 5, which returns 10 here, and it will be get printed out. And now if you basically open with live server, what you will see, if I go to the console here, you will see that 10 is printed out here on script.js. So basically it is calling this method which is defined inside a separate file which is add number, and then we are exporting this method here and calling it and providing these two arguments 5 comma 5, and then it is returning the result, and then we are displaying it. And basically you can, in the same manner, guys, you can declare as many files as you want. You can just modules, you can create, this one is another module, you can call this as ES6 module for, let's suppose, subtraction. I'm just taking a simple example. So here we can define a simple function for subtracting the number. So subtract a comma b. Once again it will return now the subtraction a minus b. So again we can export this. We can export this method subtract, and now we can include this method in the same scenario, guys. So we will data, or in the similar case, subtract from file 2. So what we can do is that, guys, we can simply now call this data dot sub. Oh, sorry, you need to change this variable name. Let's suppose I call this data2. So data2 dot subtract, and here you can say 5 comma 5 once again. So this will return 0. And again, if you refresh it, you will see it is saying file 2 is not, sorry, you need to include the extension, guys. So for this to happen, so 0 is returned, guys. You can see that. So this is all about, guys, export and import statement. You can use it inside your regular JavaScript. You just need to provide this type parameter here whenever you are including this file. Type is equal to module. So this simply means that we are using the latest version of the JavaScript, which is ES6. We are using all its features inside our regular HTML page. So this is really important. I needed to show you guys this full example, how to export your variables and methods inside your ES6 modules using import and export statement in JavaScript. Please hit that like button, subscribe the channel, and I will be seeing you in the next video.